So I'm David Lane and I'm the writer of I Am England, which was originally commissioned by The Egg, which is a children's theatre in Bath, 5 years ago. So the play came out of a project called Shakespeare Unplugged, which is where they ask artists, The Egg asks artists to create contemporary responses to any Shakespeare work at all, from the sonnets to the plays. And at the time, I've been really wanting to write something political for teenagers, and was looking at Coriolanus, which is essentially the story of a soldier who is kind of made into a politician against his will, and at the heart of it, for me, is a story about someone who is forced to do something against their own will, against their own nature. And all of that's taking place in the context of a new political arrangement in the city of Rome, riots among the hungry because there's a massive wealth gap, and the heads of state are also sharing power. This was at the time of the coalition government, at the time of just after the time of the summer riots in 2011, and so there were lots of kind of contemporary crossovers between Shakespeare's play and the present day political situation. And I was really interested to know what teenagers thought about that work, because they were the young people were seemed to be involved with the riots, seemed to be involved with the conflicts as well. So I thought, well, let's get lots of young people in a room together, talk to them about Coriolanus, try and talk to them about the themes of that play, and see what happens. And out of that came this story of a future England that was devolved from Europe, which was financially massively unstable, and that was planning essentially to go to war with the whole of Europe to have the debts it was owed paid back by the rest of Europe, which came out of the beginning of austerity in 2011. And a very tiny thing that maybe lots of people have forgotten back in October 2011, which was David Cameron issuing a veto against a European Union arrangement to protect the Eurozone from the Eurozone crisis, which was essentially the beginning of where we are now, which is having voted to leave Europe as well. So coming to meet the youth theatre in rehearsal was fantastic, because it was an opportunity to try and give them ownership of a script which they knew had come from a different theatre, which they knew had been produced already by another young company, and which also was 4 years old at that point. But the opportunity to work with them to see their passion for the script and their interest and engagement with politics was an opportunity to find ways for them to take ownership of it and make it their own play, make it their own story as much as possible, and to kind of hand over those choices and possibilities to them. It was exciting to see their engagement and their excitement about the piece as well. And Alex is clearly a fantastic leader of them as a young company as well, and having just come out of the dress rehearsal, you can see that journey they've gone on over the last 6 months has been huge. So I've just come out of the dress rehearsal, and the amount of commitment that those young people are putting into that performance and the intention they've got behind the storytelling is huge. And there are a lot of moments in the play now, looking at it 5 years on, which seem incredibly politically relevant. And what excited me most was that I genuinely felt like I was listening to a younger generation who feel disempowered, being empowered to say the things that they feel about a future they've had no choice over, and to be able to articulate some of the conflicting arguments and contradictory points of view that are flying around in the play and are flying around in the real political world right now, to give those some voice and to give their perspective on them. The other thing that struck me was how they've created this incredible soundtrack base to it, which is live drumming. There's a live drummer on stage, which is a really exciting idea, and that's underscoring the action and the moments of chorus and giving a feel of this kind of impending military battle or conflict on the horizon, which is where the play ultimately is heading. So it feels like a really alive piece of theatre, full of young people being able to say the things that perhaps they don't have a platform to say or be heard to be saying anywhere else.